Serious, NSFW, people who woke up in the middle of surgery, what happened? Attention. Serious tag notice jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted. Link. Reddit. com/r/askreddit/wiki/index/wiki_rule 6. In any comment, parent or child, parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour, and posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I'm a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit /message/compose/to=r/askreddit if you have any questions or concerns. All I remember is someone saying, "Shh's awake." Then I was out again. Same thing happened to me. I was incredibly aware of what was going on for a few seconds and couldn't figure out why they were freaking out. I thought I was just done with surgery. Guess not. HMM. Not done with me spleen yet. Hey, is that my heart? Guess I'll go back to bed. Excuse me, doctor. ZZZZ. ZZZZ. Not quite during, but immediately after I had kidney stone surgery. I was barely out of my sleep when I felt an immense pain. Unfortunately, I couldn't move or talk. Then I heard a nurse say, "Doctor, I can't get this catheter in." The doctor says, "Well, you can't. Be gentle with those. Shove it in." This was followed immediately by pain. What felt like a pop. Then immense relief. I don't remember anything after that until I was back in my room and asked the doctor about it. He just laughed and goes, "Oh, you were awake for that? Sorry about that." For some reason this made me want a Capri Sun. I can't believe you've done this. Can someone translate this joke for a non-American? To drink a Capri Sun, you must stab the pouch with the included straw. Not exactly during the procedure, but definitely too early for the operating team. Nurse was handing Nsray to the doctor on the opposite side of the gurney and I reached up and grabbed it and said, "Mine." It startled the nurse, and then I was back out. Seagull vibes. I woke up twice during a spinal surgery. The first time I was still face down, but in a face cradle, so I could see the feet of the doctors and attendants around me. The second time I was face up again, and was trying to ask for my mom, but couldn't remember the word for it. So I tried asking for my dad instead. My mouth wouldn't work right. That's kinda weird, forgetting the word mom. I imagine you're pretty drugged up for spinal surgery. Remembering any words at all sounds impressive. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, haha. Wasn't in the middle, but I was woken up by someone yanking the breathing tube out of my throat once we were done. Obviously I'm not a surgeon, and have no idea of the technical name for the breathing tube thingy. Endotracheal tube. In vet medicine we remove the tube after the patient has started to wake up from surgery in case we need to quickly reattach them to oxygen again. I wonder if the pets remember too. I think the pugs probably remember breathing well for the first time in ages. They're often so chill just hanging out with their in. This is the saddest thing I've read in a long time. Get your pets from the shelter, people. Yeah. So we actually leave brachycephalic animals, smushed faces, intubated for much longer than other breeds of dogs/cats, because they're more prone to complications during recovery. For example, for pretty much all other breeds we wait for at least 2 swallows or coughs to remove the tube. But with bulldogs and pugs we may wait until they literally walk across the room to take their tube out. They breathe so much better with the tube in. And to make you sadder, sorry, breeds such as bulldogs almost always require a cesarean section while giving birth, because their birth canal is much too narrow for the giant, deformed heads of their babies. When I was 5 I had my tonsils taken out and woke up during it. I don't remember this, but I was told the doctor touched my vocal cords because I sat up. The doctor said it was my parents' fault for not preparing me for surgery. This was 1971 and the doctor knows best. Fast forward 5 years and the school says the teacher can't understand me. My voice had gotten hoarser gradually. Went to a different doctor and he looked at my vocal cords and said there was a callus had built up on vocal cords and needed to be removed. Simple surgery and recovered well. Had speech therapy to relearn how to talk. I woke up during my tonsillectomy. 2. I was 7. I still have a vivid memory of opening my eyes and realizing there was a brace holding my mouth wide open. Then a moment later the people standing over me realizing what was going on and the gas mask coming down on my face again. Dude, me too. Nobody believed me the time either, because I was like 5, but I have more or less that exact memory. Or maybe y'all were abducted by aliens. Not the same thing. But after 10 hours in labor after an induction I had my epidural topped up for an emergency C-section to deliver my twins. That should have taken care of the pain without knocking me out. The epidural did not work the way it should. I felt every cut, not as a tug or ache, or a pulling sensation, but as a cut. About 70% of the sensation you would expect from a surgery without an anesthetic. I saw both twins delivered. And the last thing I remember is the nurse who was watching my facial expression saying, "She's feeling that. She's feeling that." And then I hemorrhaged, passed out and woke up 10 hours later. I related news. There was a patch of my back below one shoulder blade that was completely numb for about 6 months after having the babies. I think I know where my top up epidural went. I don't tell my giving birth story often in sensitive company. This happened to my wife. She had 3 epidural before her emergency C-section. Said that she could feel everything. My mother was conscious but unable to move when having my brother by C-section. In those days, this was decades ago, you were supposed to be unconscious. But they didn't give her enough anesthetic. She felt everything. That's my worst nightmare. Conscious but unable to communicate. Wisdom tooth removal. I woke up in the middle. Disoriented and with a hand in my mouth. What the duck? I bit down to make it go away. There was yelling, "Open your mouth. Open your mouth." And then I woke up at home several hours later. This made me laugh. What a mental image. I was having a surgery to repair a hiatus hernia, usually open chest. But mine was new keyhole method being tried. I woke up right at the end of the surgery. I was freezing cold and still had the pipe, not sure what it's called, down my throat. I remember a lot of people rushing around to warm me up, heated blankets and stuff, and a lot of panicked voices. It was incredibly uncomfortable and painful. I fell back under, not sure if I was put back under or just fell back under. I wasn't really with it, but it was quite scary afterwards. I just remember the cold more than anything. I did agree to have 2 trainee anesthetists supervised to put me under and monitor me. I'll still always agree to be treated by trainees. Everyone needs to learn. This is all in the UK. Yeah, I always agree to trainees too. They could be saving my kid's life one day. I panicked and slapped the nurse. She panicked back. Then they put me back under. When in doubt, slap the nurse. I feel like this is the name of a country song. I was put in a twilight sleep for a 7-hour foot surgery that I woke up during. I process anesthesia and pain meds fast, yay genetics, and basically I woke up clear-headed as I would after a light nap or a good night's sleep. I laid there a moment, wondering how soon the surgery was going to be over because Christ almighty it was boring. I tried to look at the clock, but the surgery drapery they erected obscured most of the clock. I looked to the anesthesiologist, but he was leaning away from me to look behind the drape to watch the surgery. I didn't want to shift or move in case it would cause my foot to shift and possibly mess up the surgeon. So I politely said excuse me, and that poor anesthesiologist came out of his skin. Everyone in the operating room froze dead. I continued, I was wondering if you could tell me the time. He kinda sputtered, looked at the clock, and told me it was 9:30, which meant I had 5 hours left. And I was already bored as hell, so when he stammered that he was going to put me under again, I smiled and shrugged and said okay and closed my eyes, and just like that I was out. I woke up in recovery still laughing at that poor man's horrified face. Haha. I can just imagine you live on in those doctors' lives as one of their craziest stories. I had 4 impacted wisdom teeth and 1 infected by the time I decided to do something about it. Mid-surgery I woke up and freaked out. I distinctly remember the go-to warp sensation of being sedated, like I was made of rubber and stretched. Then I woke up sore with most of the people standing back. Somewhere in the middle I woke up and grabbed the wrist of the dental surgeon. And when the anesthesiologist tried to gas me, I managed to slap his hand to his face. I managed to pull the face mask off the nurse and stop dead staring at her and burbled with a mouthful of blood about having to save them, and I was here to help. Then they drugged my ass and had to put me back in the chair. I was in the fire brigade and surf club. I think I weighted like 115 kilograms, and I'm a big guy, 185 centimeter plus, so that must have been fun. They gave the video to my wife to show me later, and after I recovered I drove back down and apologized to them all profusely. The nurse called me Khan for all my following visits. They kept me awake. It sounds like the norm is to be knocked out. I wish that I had been. I woke up during my wisdom teeth extraction. Saw bright lights. Then someone saying, "Oh, crap." Then everything went dark again, and the next time I woke up, it was time to go home. I didn't feel any pain at all. Who are these awesome dentists knocking all of you out? Mine kept me awake. I mean, my surgeon asked me if I wanted to be knocked out or just use gas. I was like, duck that shit. Give me the good stuff. I thought it was standard. I was given no choice. And no gas. Just a needle into my cheek, which was supposed to be in my gums. And I felt everything. And I smelled my burning gums and skin and bones. As he was using the drill on me, it was like smelling yourself burning to death. It was really awful. I haven't been back to a dentist in 9 years because it was so traumatic. That sounds horrifying. I'm really sorry you had to go through that. Did you have yours done by a dentist or an oral surgeon? Maybe that's the difference. My surgeon was fantastic, and he helped me through my recovery so well. If you're willing to take advice, I'd say give a new, different dentist a chance. Your teeth are important, and it's crucial that they be maintained well. Explain your experience to the dentist so that they understand the context. Hell, there's plenty of dentists that advertise themselves as using anesthesia for all procedures. I'm really sorry you had to go through that. I was undergoing wisdom teeth removal. They never actually gave me anesthesia. They gave me a bunch of painkillers and numbing agents and something else to make me sleepy. I had headphones and was numb, so it was easy to zone out and sleep. However, I remember looking around the room several times. It was hard to see because of the bright light, but I saw my mouth in the reflection of the dentist's glasses. It wasn't pretty. I'd probably pass out. I guess the body knows when it's best for us to get knocked out. Brain surgery. Woke up. Saw what was going on. Thought it was cool. Their eye opened up. Thought ei brain. I think they anesthesia rice swearing off in a golem voice because of the air tube. Freaked out everybody. Started laugh choking looking around probably looking like a demon hellspawn sounding like something from The Exorcist. Terror in the faces around me. Someone screamed. More drugs. Woke up all good to pale faces and people looking like they lived through the horrors of Vietnam. They denied I woke up. But those eyes. We all know what happened. We all know. Brain surgery is probably the best one to wake up during. Brains don't feel pain, so the only potential pain you could have felt was just from them getting through the skull. Actually, a lot of patients are awake during brain surgery, so doctors can see how certain brain functions are working. True. But for this one I was supposed to be out for it. Anesthesiologist didn't dose me right. I got a cool experience though. Sorry, I didn't mean to imply that your experience was any better than anyone else's. Personally, if it happened to me, I would freak out. Even knowing that brains don't feel pain. I was just thinking out loud in a way about how at least brains don't feel pain. You're good. I like to learn, so it was a pretty cool experience to see into the medical field. Not so much myself at first, but it was cool lol. When people say look deep within yourself and you'll find life's answers, I'm not sure that's what they meant. Badum TSS. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.